What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here, welcome. This is Garage Build, and we're continuing on with our 350Z project car. So if you haven't seen any videos before, please go to our channel and check them out. There's a lot of progress been going on, a lot of stuff we're waiting on, a lot of parts, a lot of goodies are coming in. And we also have a giveaway that's going on, a Mishimoto thermostatic plate and package with our merchandise. So Street Fighter Performance shirt, hat, some decals. So don't miss out, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So today we're gonna start the video off. We're gonna give you a little sneak peek of the engine bay. Jake's been working on it, basically plugging all the holes, cleaning up the engine bay as you saw before. But today I'm going to show you what he did so far, and the plan is basically today to finish it up and then shoot primer, so that way it is almost ready for paint. So let's take a look. All right, in the previous video we showed you guys that we still had a lot of stuff going on over here, but Jake ended up shaving these strut towers down. There was still a lot of metal and a lot of welding was going on from previous video, but today it's looking pretty good. It still needs a final touch. He did end up plugging all the holes on the firewall, the heater core, the wire harness hole, so all this is looking pretty nice. Second bay is done. This is all welded up, so he's got still a little bit of work to do. There's some final touch-ups, like we're going to get rid of this, blend everything a little bit better, and then we're going to start masking, basically cleaning this up and getting ready to shoot some primer.
This is what I chose to use. I really like it for the smaller projects. Since I'm just doing the engine bay, I don't want to mix up and have to clean my gun and get that all set up. So I just run with this. It's a two-part. It's like a can inside of a can. You pull this stopper out, stick it on the bottom. So it's like a catalyzed two-part paint. It's real good quality for the engine bay, especially like brake fluid and stuff like that. If you just use rattle can on these, it'll just melt it off, and you know, it really doesn't last that long. So I've tried this out before. I did this on my black truck, my 95 Sierra. You guys saw in the video. I use this for like the fender wells and stuff, and it holds up really good. You can get chemicals on it, it lasts. So that's what we're shooting with this, and I chose this because one can, it'll probably get just this engine bay done, and it's easy cleanup. It's a little pricey, but for the ease of, you know, time's sake, not having to clean your gun and you know, cut your paint, that's the way to go for your small projects. So I highly recommend that. You can get it at Eastwood. You can go to the store or get it delivered, either way, but it's really good stuff. And then later on today, we're gonna strip this down. This is the motor that we're putting in here. It's a known good motor. It's a 5.3. It came out of one of my vehicles personally. Has like 140, 130,000 somewhere around there on it. It's a 5.3 out of 04, so it doesn't have the LMOA, you know, the cylinder on demand valve body underneath the manifold. So the plan for today is just strip off. Pretty much we're just using the block and the cylinder heads for right now. So this is all truck accessories and truck intakes coming off, accessory bracket, water pump, crank pulley, AC compressor, the manifolds. We're going to be using the ISR swap kit. It comes with the headers. The oil pan will come off, but until we're actually ready to put that on, we're just going to leave the stock one on just to keep it sealed so we don't get no crud in there. But we're going to strip it down, get some paint on it. Plans for it right now, I mean, just to get it in, proof of concept to get it in, fit, get all the wiring done. We're just going to run a cam and some valve springs, get a little bit more power out of it. With the headers, you know, we'll end up getting a dyno to see, so you guys can see what you can get out of a 5.3 just with a cam and a valve springs. That will be a future video. So we're gonna clean it up and we're gonna paint it with the same type of stuff. We got, it's 2K, I swear by the 2K. I don't know if you guys ran into this before. You paint with just rattle can, you know, you're cleaning something, you get a little brake clean on it, it's gonna melt your paint, and you know, put all that time in there, cleaning it, masking it. Once it's in the car, it's hard to touch up. So I'm running the 2K primer, engine primer, and the 2K engine paint. It's just gloss black. So we'll just be hitting the block with that. So that's it, we're gonna get to it.
so we're just taking a little pause and we'll show you what we got so far. So I've been working on this motor, as you saw. We stripped it down completely. We basically have everything off that we're not going to use. And this pulley is going to get changed later, so the reason it's still on so we don't have any dust and stuff behind the seal if it will be off. So we'll stay on for a little bit. But so far you can take a look right here on this side. End up basically cleaning the head, the valve cover a little bit. And then I cleaned all the loose stuff on the block. I still got to degrease it before we paint it. But this is what it looks like right here. Just give you a little, you know, before and after. So came out looking pretty good. We're still probably going to get different valve covers in the future. We end up changing the coil packs. So I'm not really sure if we're going to keep these or not, but just for now, I'm still going to clean them up. But this is going pretty good. We should be able to spray the block here shortly, maybe in the next hour or so. As I'm done, we'll tape it off and spray the block in black, and then clean up his head. And this is what Jake's got going on. He's almost ready also. So he's end up cleaning everything up. Now they're going to start wiping it and taping everything over. So in maybe an hour or so, we're going to start putting primer. We still got to do a little bit of sim sealer right here on the firewall, so we won't have any smoke rolling in the cabin just in case. And Joe's here helping out, so he's going to start taping off the windshield, and then basically we're ready to shoot. So let's get this done and let's see how it comes out. It should be pretty cool. Guys, so Jake got all this ready to basically prep, ready to spray right now. We wiped everything down with acetone, so it's nice and clean. Basically cleaned all the cracks and crannies all the way around, blew it all up with shop air. And now we're going to use this 2K epoxy primer from Eastwood. So he's going to start spraying it, and I was cleaning up that motor earlier. And we basically, same thing, acetoned everything. So wire rolled the whole motor, acetoned it, blew it out. So it looks all clean. As you know, the oil pan is going to come off, so we didn't clean that. We're going to use the ISR Performance oil pan, and then the pulley is going to be different. So we didn't do anything with it. It's just sitting there covering the seal so there's nothing goes in the motor. And taped all the ports for your coolant. So we're basically ready to go. At first we're going to use the same kind of paint, but now we decided to go with POR. If you guys never used it, it's pretty good stuff. I used it on my 2JZ and it's still holding up, looking very good. So I recommend using it on your block. I mean, it's not the engine stuff, but just a regular POR 15. So I do recommend it. I like how mine came out, so that's what we're going to use today. And it should be looking pretty nice after we're done. There's Jake painting that bay. Joey's got this engine covered.
We're wrapping it up for today. We got the bay prime. I'm happy with it. Looks pretty good. There's a few areas we got to touch up. once you put the primer on, you know, things come out, which primary goal was to get all this bare metal, all the block off on the firewall coated, so we're not removing rust later on. So we got a nice solid coat, especially in this area, and we are going to be doing further work in the engine bay. But we're just going to leave it primed for now. We're not going to hit it with the final color. We're debating on possibly like a white, nice something bright in the engine bay. So this is just to protect it while we're working on it now. Turned out pretty good. Ended up using 2 cans of the Eastwood 2K primer. Covered it pretty good. I'm gonna show you the motor next. We went with the POR 15, like we said earlier in the video. Looks good. POR 15, I swear by it, it's pretty good. You know, this didn't just come back from machine shop. It's not hot tanked, cleaned. And there's so many in the webbings, the nooks, and all the areas that are hard to reach. POR 15 really shines in this with, you know, good prep, but you can't get everything off. So POR 15 really bonds. Looks good. Happy with it. So that's it for today. Got the bay primed, got the engine ready. So now we're gonna go get some F-body accessories for it. LS1 intake. Probably gonna run with an electric water pump. We've just been talking. It's gonna be a cleaner look. We're not running heat, so we don't have a heater core. We don't need the extra hoses, and the electric water pumps come with AN fitting right on it, so it's going to give it a good clean look.
All right guys, well this is it for today's video. We're stoked how everything came out. We're super pumped to bolt that thing back into the engine bay and see how everything looks when it all comes together. It's going to be awesome. Next thing, we're going to touch up the engine bay like Jake said, and then we're going to move into the interior of the car and start prepping for the engine, the roll cage, and go after that project. And it should be pretty awesome. So stay tuned. It's coming together. We're making progress, and it's going to be a great ride when it's all together. So I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.